Hi, my name is Isabella Tan, and I'm your host for this episode of the College and Career Readiness Podcast. Today we're joined with our special guest, Dione Robinson, CEO of Robinson Consulting. Before we start our interview, remember to take control of your future by joining the California Army National Guard today. Serve your community during local and state emergencies by learning marketable skills and earning a paycheck and getting money for school. Contact Sergeant Aquino today at 916-233-7615. So hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Ben?
I'm good. Would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself and your career and just how you got to this point in your life?
Yeah. So I actually grew up here in Natomas.
Really?
Not too far from Natomas. I actually had an opportunity to go to college. I went to Chico State. I had a basketball scholarship to play basketball there. I played basketball there for 4 years, and then I went off to the Portland Trailblazers for a little while. Mm-hmm. Once I stopped playing basketball there, I came back and I started doing sales training. So I went into sales 2002. And from 2002 to 2017-ish, I did sales, where a various amount of roles, where I was a salesperson, sales manager, and the last 10 years I spent in executive management. Mm-hmm. So after I did that, I was mentoring a lot of people, running sales for the entire country. I built 3 organizations from the ground up within bigger organizations. Mm-hmm. So what I was doing, I was mentoring these people. I was making a lot of money for these organizations, and I said, hey, why not go off on my own and do this for myself? So that's when I went off for myself and created Robinson Consulting Services.
That's really cool. What did you major in college?
I was in business.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
What do you think you learned from college that made you want to be off on yourself? Like, do you think that being in college was I don't know how to explain it. Never mind. We're gonna cut that part out.
Okay.
But could you explain to me a little bit how you went off on yourself and how that process began?
Yeah, so like I said, what really made me realize that I can go off on my own, is when I created 3 different organizations within bigger companies. Mm-hmm. The first one I did was when I worked for a credit card processing company, and they asked me to go run California, Alabama, and Texas, where I ran about 450 branch locations, and they asked me to build, a team of, I started with 20 people, so I had to go build a team of like 65 salespeople and 5 sales managers.
That's crazy.
So I went out and did that, and we were producing about $700 million in revenue. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I might be pretty good at this. And then I went on to another company to start from ground zero, where it was just me, and they wanted me to build throughout the entire country. So then I ended up building an organization that had about 80 people in it across the country. Mm-hmm. I built the sales process. I built the training. I built the compensation structure. So I started the organization from the ground up. And when I finished with it, we were producing about $3 billion in revenue. So when I did that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I really can probably do this on my own. Mm-hmm. So then at that point, I went and helped one of my friends kind of build his organization out. And then once I did that, I decided to start doing my own thing.
That's cool. What does like an everyday day at work look like for you?
Well, it's when I started on my own, I decided I had some people who were already kind of there. So what I do specifically is I do life coaching, mm-hmm. right? I do executive coaching, and then I do business transformation. So what that looks like is I might, for example, right now I probably have about 35 customers that I individually life coach, right? So I work with them on depends on how I set that up, but I work with them at least 2 to 3 days a week, where we do sometimes it's a live meeting, sometimes it's over via web, like web conference call, and I help them put their life together, right, from the very beginning to their job, to understanding who they are, why they exist, what their purpose is, mm-hmm. right, because that's what I believe. I believe you have to understand your purpose before you can go on. So I teach them that, and I kind of teach them how to deal with these different things in life. And I've done a lot of studying about the brain and different things, so I kind of incorporate that within my teachings to people, and then also do executive coaching. So it might be a leader that I coach and help him realize his potential so that he can help his people around him, mm-hmm. right? And then also do business transformation. So I'll go into a business and conduct what we call a SWOT analysis, mm-hmm. which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? And then I show them how to get better, whether it's you need a better sales process, or you need to train your people better, or you need better leadership, whatever that is. I help them so they can accomplish their goals.
That's super awesome. What was your inspiration behind this? Like, was it helping people, or?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I really get. So when I was in sales and when I was in leadership in organizations, mm-hmm. I used to get off. I used to do really good from my perspective from sales. I always, was a top salesperson. But I used to get off on helping other people mm-hmm. become successful. So it's pretty cool to see somebody who's not performing very well or not performing at what you think their capacity is, mm-hmm. and then helping them realize what their potential is, and then taking them to the next level. So once I started doing that, I started getting really, really excited about that, right?
Yeah.
I became a sales manager when I was like 24 years old in a pretty big company, which was pretty cool for me, right? I was like, okay, I'm a sales manager making some good money and I'm helping other people be successful. And I found out that's what I liked at an early age. So then I started helping people be more successful. Then I said, okay, let me put together some processes that can help. I don't care who you are, what type of person you are, nationality, it doesn't matter. How can I help these people get further than where they are right now?
Cool, that's amazing. I always forget what I'm gonna say. Okay, but I know that you were talking about like all of these achievements that you had and how you've been very successful throughout your career. Has there been any obstacles that have set you back?
Well, yeah, of course, there's been a bunch of obstacles, right? But I don't see them as obstacles, right? I see them more as challenges, and how do you get through those challenges? But one of the challenges, and I'll be completely honest with you guys, one of the challenges being in corporate America is being African American, right? And especially if you're African American and you're smarter than some of the people they don't want you to be smarter than, right? So that's been a big challenge, but you overcome it, right? You don't see past it, or you see past it, right? You don't allow that to get in your way. And then the other challenge is just this job takes a lot of discipline, right? Sales and business is a lot of discipline. So making sure that you get up every single morning and do what you need to do to be successful, right? And basketball helped me out a lot with that.
Yeah. When it comes to discipline and stuff like that you might like struggle with, do you feel like there's any areas of improvement in your career?
Well, if you would ask me that question probably 10 years ago, I would have said yes, right? But I've done a lot of refinement on myself, and I know myself very well. So and now it's just a matter of executing what I already know, the plan that I put in place, right? Because that's what it's about. You have to put a plan in place before you know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
I always use the metaphor of, and you guys probably don't know this because you guys got your iPhones now and your map quest, right? But when I was in sales, we didn't have a phone where you could put the address in. We had to go to the computer, get on MapQuest, and kind of print out where we needed to go. And it gave you a step-by-step kind of plan as to how you needed to get somewhere. So, for example, I came to the school this morning. If I didn't know how to get there, I had to go in MapQuest, and it'll give me a step-by-step map of how to get here. So that's what I help people create in their life, which is what I've created in my life, is a step-by-step map as to how you get to where you want to get to.
Okay, cool. I'm going to pause it. She already pressed it.
In the United States Army and Army Reserve, leadership is earned every day. In addition to earning leadership, you can earn up to $80,000 towards your college degree. For more information, contact Staff Sergeant Kum at 916-214-6457.
Okay, so I know that you've been talking a lot about goals and just your plan for the future. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
So in 5 to 10 years, based on the stuff that I'm working on, there's some projects that I want to do that can potentially change the world. So when I talk about change the world, I'm dealing with some really wealthy clients right now, and one of the jobs that I do is I help wealthy people find projects. So I have a lot of initiatives that I want to create for young kids and for people, because I grew up in a not so good environment as well. Like my mom was kind of on drugs. I didn't have a father, so I kind of grew up by myself and getting straight A's and so a lot of kids don't do things the way I do. Like statistically, I'm not supposed to be where I am. So I want to change the world in terms of giving kids an opportunity that they may feel like they don't have, so they can do exactly what they want to do in life, right? They can dream big just like anybody else. Right? So a lot of the money that I make is going to go towards helping individuals like that. In the next 5 years, that's kind of what I want to do.
That's super amazing. So those kids that you're talking about, if they were interested in this, do you have any advice for them for just getting this career kicked off?
Well, for getting a career kicked off, before you even start talking about career, I think it needs to come down to exactly what you want, who you are as a person, and why you get up every morning is what I teach people. Right? So I think it's very important that people understand that from the very beginning. First, before you start talking careers or you start talking anything, right? You need to understand who you are and why you do what you do, right? Or why you want to do what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And then from that point, now we can start talking about careers, right? But it's about the foundation and who you are as a person and knowing yourself, right, before you get there. So the best advice I can give you is find a mentor that can help you understand who you are. And I know, I kind of knew very young that I was going to be in business. I never said I wanted to play basketball in the NBA. I accidentally got there, I tell people, right? But I always said I wanted to be a businessman or a CEO, right? So, and I ended up being exactly what I wanted to be, right? Because I knew from the very beginning, which means I had a longer time to work on getting there, right? Which makes it a shorter time. I'm not going to do it when I'm 70, right? I can do it when I'm about to be 40 years old. So I became a CEO before I was 40 years old. And I said that in my goals, that I wanted to be a CEO before I was 40 years old.
Cool. Do you feel like there are any characteristics that you have that make you better at your job, or talents or skills or stuff like that?
Well, yes, I think I do, right? I think I'm really good at everything. Just joking. I think from playing basketball, the discipline, right? I think that's a big thing, right? To me, that's what people always use the term luck, right? And to me, the definition of luck is when hard work meets opportunity, right? So the harder you work, the luckier you become, right? So for me, it's always been, I'm just gonna outwork you, right? I got a little bit of talent, but I'll outwork everybody.
Okay.
Right? That's my thing.
That's super awesome. I just have one more question.
Okay.
What is your favorite part about your job?
What's my favorite what?
Part about your job.
That I get to help people. That I literally get to take people who didn't think they can get to where they are, right? I learned this saying a long time ago by one of my mentors who was a Harvard graduate. He said, you can meet people where they are, but you never leave them there, right? So that's been my goal, is I'll meet you where you are, and then I'm not going to leave you there. I'm going to take you to the next level as to where you want to go. So helping people start from ground zero, wherever that is, right? It looks different for everybody, and then taking them to another level they thought they couldn't get to. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it.
That's super awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for all your motivational words.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Get the skills to be a beauty professional. We offer hands-on training alongside creative artists and industry leaders in a fully equipped modern salon through our cosmetology, barbering, and aesthetics program. Call 916-418-7223 or visit federico.edu and start your new career today.